All set?
Okay, first, how's the sound?
Sounds fine.
Okay, and you want me to follow John when he asks the questions?
Have you been doing that? That's what I Sounds terrific here. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Want to fade up on that, Bill?
All right.
Okay.
Just getting some good cutaways and
Action.
Could you tell us about the mishaps of the Whippler?
About the Whippler again? Yes, okay, that's nothing to laugh about because we had twice an accident with the Whippler. The Whippler broke because, you know, it was a construction, a very new construction, first construction like that for a film, you know, and it broke sometimes under these heavy movements and fall down, I think about 3 or 4 meters, and then we have there a safety platform for a case like that. So it.
you want to fade up, right, my friend?
I just wanted to grab that cutaway while.
Okay.
Well, yes, we had 2 accidents with the Whippler, and it was like that. I told you that the Whippler was 8 meters high under the roof of the studio, and twice it broke and came down about 3 or 4 meters, and there we had a safety platform for a case like that, for an accident. So it was a horrible situation, and we had somebody was hurt then, but it was okay. Nobody was killed or things like that. But it was a very, very bad situation and very, very, very hard job for the actors to
Nobody wanted to go up again.
to go up again when we repaired it and so on. So that was a very bad thing. And the other one is that what happened with our big boat. I told you about the submarine of the original length for the outside scenes. When we shot there in La Rochelle, and we went with the boat out on the Atlantic, and suddenly a wind came a little bit, and waves and so on, and the boat started to make strange noises, and we had a fear what's going on there, and we take very quickly all the actors out of the boat and go back to a nearby bay to put the boat there in the bay and to repair it next day. So we went to the hotel, and the next morning when we come back, the boat was disappeared, was gone, was broken in the night and sank, and we had no boat at all. So that was the worst accident in the whole time, and we had to stop the production at that time, and friends, go back to Munich, think about what shall we do now? Shall we stop the film, or because we needed that? And so we thought, and at that time they found some pieces of this sank boat in nearby La Rochelle and the beaches, you know, and phoned us and said, we have a piece here and a piece here and a piece here. And so that's very, very funny. And so we constructed a new boat out of these rest pieces of the old boat, and with new things or wooden things and so on. We painted it and so on. And with this strange torso of a submarine, we started again shooting. And we shot it then, we shortened it up a little bit because we can't go with this thing, we can't go out to the Atlantic, you know. Mm-hmm. We just shot then with this boat the end scene with the bombardment at La Rochelle, the end of the film, you know.
How did you orchestrate that incredible sequence at the end, the battle sequence?
How what?
How did you orchestrate that? Did you storyboard?
Yeah, we had a storyboard for that because that was very complicated. You can imagine that it was the original harbor of La Rochelle. Today, a modern harbor with modern ships and so on. We had to arrange that, to bring out all the modern ships and to change all the surroundings, you know, to make it to a situation of 41. And then we have to make all these arrangements for the bombs and the planes and everything. And so it was necessary to have it very precisely on the storyboard with everything, because we had a big team there and we have to coordinate everything. And the basis for that was a very precisely worked out storyboard.
I think it was 2 weeks, wasn't it? Or 3?
About the shooting.
The final scene only.
Yeah, about 2
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
shooting.
Mm.
What was the reaction of the original U-boat commander, in which your part was based? His reaction when he saw it.
Well, we had a discussion once after the first performances in German theaters of the movie, and we had a discussion with old submariners in the TV, and they said they liked the whole thing so much, the whole movie. They said it's exactly like what we had to suffer and to go through. And exactly, it's so wonderful made. We never thought it could be. And to me, they said they would go out with me as a commander again. You see, they accepted me completely as a commander. I have no idea of leading a ship or something like that. You see.
No, it's what we had.
Really, they came and said, they were shaking hands and said, exactly what you did is so wonderful and so great. We never thought it could be. Mm.
And of course, the film is the biggest commercial success in German cinema.
That's true. It's the most successful film of all time in Germany. And what's very interesting for us is that's the case in Germany, and how will it work in foreign countries. And we had our first experience with Belgium, Norway, and just now Japan. And the same thing there. It's tremendous. It's a big, huge success all over, I hope, all over the world later on, but now all over Belgium, Norway, and Japan.
Of course, you have those same hopes for the United States.
Of course, yes. Sure, and we wait and see what the people will say here to the film.
Now, your next picture is The Plastic Nightmare.
No. That's not true. I 3 or 4 years ago, I had the plan to make The Plastic Nightmare here in the United States, and as an American-German co-production, and we have prepared everything. We have the contracts and everything, and then at that moment came the offer by the Bavarian studios to make the boat, and so I had one night to think about that, and so I said, okay, I will make the boat because I think it's more important for me to make the boat. So so The Plastic Nightmare is gone, forgotten.
What is your next project?
I'm not sure. I don't know, because now I'm reading all the scripts I have in Germany, all the offers, and as it is in this business, I have, I think, 15 or 20 offers, and 2/3 of them are war pictures, you know. And it's everything. It's like that. But I don't want it. The boat is my first and my last war film, so I have to read. I have to think about it. I don't know. I really don't know.
How does one get to make films in Germany? Are there film schools, TV?
Yes, in my case, I was at the Berlin Film Schools. I started at a theater in Hamburg, worked there as a director, actor, and on the stage, on theater for 4 years. And then I went to a film school in Berlin. And we have 2 film schools in Berlin and Munich. I think quite good schools for young directors and so on. It's quite good.
I'm curious as to your influences, particularly Fritz Lang, some of his early films, if any particular influence, because I know that you directed the TV thrillers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've made what Jürgen told before. Our first film was for a very, very popular series in Germany called Tatort, thriller films. Very, very, very big thing, very popular in Germany. And I've made 6 films for this series. One with Nastasia Kinski as well. When she was 15 years old, I made the film with her, and she became, from one day to the next day in Germany, a shooting star. Unbelievable. She was great in that part, very good. And she was so sweet, so young, so nice, 15 years old. I loved it to work with her.
Can you comment on the state of German cinema today?
What, pardon?
If you could comment on the state of German cinema today?
I think we have an interesting point right now in Germany, because, you know, we had the last 10 or 15 years, the new German cinema growing and making very good films, very important films, more and more international, important on festivals and so on. But our problem was in Germany that they had no real audience in Germany, a small audience. And I think now, the last 2 or 3 years, there's a special development. We have more audience for German films now. The German film is becoming more popular. It started with films of, for example, Fassbinder's Maria Braun or Tin Drum, and films like Herzog's film, the last film, and Christiane F. And now The Boat. We have now a big audiences for German films. And so I think there's some changes now. We have more public, more audience. And so I think for the future more and more chances to make a good, let's say, popular, good German cinema. I think the times of the new German cinema is gone now. And now we have the German cinema, an adult German cinema. And I think it's good. We all are hopeful for the future for our cinema.
Many of the German films in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, they were partially funded by the government. The government is very behind the cinema.
Yeah, we have very good subsidies. Subsidized. Very good system in Germany, and very important is and was the television as partner to make films out of that. We have a special co-production system between television and movie producers. So they give us money to produce a film, and we have the chance to make these films, to give these films in the movie houses for the first 2 or 3 years, and then later on in the television. And that's very helpful. And I think the most of all the German films the last time were made together with this television system. It was very good.
That's actually my next question.
That's not a private one, you see. That's it's official. It's not a private TV in Germany. It's not making money. It's not allowed to make money, and it gets its money from everybody who owns a TV recorder has to pay several amount, 30 D-marks a month, and from this money they live, or they do the productions.
What's the state of video in Germany? Is similar to what Coppola is trying to do over here with mating film with video?
Yeah, I've heard that, and some journalists ask me the same question. What is now the situation with you with in Germany with video and so on? It is. I can say right now we have no experience with that. It's not like you here, Coppola and so on. I would say we don't like it. I don't like it. I never worked with that. But maybe we have to change our mind in the future. Is something changing? But right now we work all on film. And we have nothing to do with video.
Well, it's a big market, of course. You see, many people have it and work with it, but not actually for the movie business, shooting films with it. But many people buy video recorders and cameras and things like that, video cassettes. Everything it's increasing, incredible.
Now that you've been, I guess, directing films now for 10 years.
10 years, yeah, that's correct.
I was wondering if you could comment on, for example, One of Us Two, looking back now, your thoughts on that film briefly.
Yeah, One of Us Two was, I think it's now 8 or 9 years ago that we made the film together. And that was a time that was very good reviews in Germany at that time, but no audience, no commercial success at that time. And it was a very small film. It was a low-budget film. It was made in I think about 28 or 30 days to shoot. It's a little bit, and that was at that time the situation. There was no money,
really
nothing.
Bad financial circumstances. A private producer, he wouldn't put money in it. He wouldn't. It was terrible in a way to work under such circumstances. I mean, it's always terrible with producers, but this one was he was unbelievable. He was yes. He wouldn't let us really do what we want.
How about Four Against the Bank?
Or Against the Bank. Yeah, that was, we have in Germany problems with comedies. We have no writers for comedies and so on. And this was a very good plot. And I all the time said, I want to make a good comedy. And this was a very good plot, very silly story, but very, very funny. And it was a big success on television. It was a television film. It was not a feature film. And well, yes, I liked it very much. And I'm looking for good comedy stuff, comedy stories in Germany. But in Germany, it's not so easy to find, writers for that. We are a little bit too serious, We have our problems with that.
Of course, The Consequence, very controversial picture of just several years ago now.
No, it's not 7 years ago.
Several.
5 years ago.
5 years ago, yeah. Yes, we had a problem in Germany at that time that the Bavarian television won't show it. They changed the program. It was a scandal all over Germany. All the newspapers were full with the consequence, the case of The Consequence. You can't imagine. But it was a huge success. The people liked the film very, very much. And now we have the situation when we come back, and I think in March they want to repeat it on television again. And we will wait and see what the Bavarians will do. Same thing or not. And yes, I like the film very much. I know this work on that project. I think it was a good work, a very important film to do with that.
We had a marvelous response on that. We never thought to begin with when we did it. We were a bit scared to do a film like that and under these circumstances in Germany. And we got thousands of letters and telephone calls and everything. There was a book printed, The Responses was called. All these letters, a man collected them and brought out a book of it. And really wonderful things happened with that film. We never thought of it. But also it was a big controversy in the country, and the newspapers were full of it.
And Black and White, As Days and Nights.
Yeah, that was my last film before I shot The Boat. Yes, I think Bruno Ganz was very good in that part as a chess player. Little bit the Bobby Fischer type he played in that part. And that was a problem with that film, to make a suspenseful kind of a thriller out of a chess theme, chess, if you watch people playing chess, and you have no idea what it is, it's so boring, it's nothing. And to make with this scene with a chess player and so make a thriller out of that, psycho thriller, that was, I think, was very difficult to do. And but I think it worked good. I liked it to work with Bruno on that, Bruno Ganz. And it is a small film. Was shot for TV. And was later on blown up for movie houses and so on. Well, I liked it.
I want to thank you very, very much for our interview, and best of luck on the picture. It's very
Okay, thank you.
very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.